Hey there friends, Nibs again. Out here in the garage doing a little bit of tinkering tonight. And I have a pretty cool upgrade, I guess you could call it, adjustment for the Venturi Avenger trigger. And I just want to start out right by saying right off the bat that it was not a terrible trigger. Right off the bat, it was just a little over 3 pounds, but there was a little bit of, there's a little bit of take up in it, and it really isn't a 2-stage trigger, but it has a little bit of, gotta pull it and then you feel the wall, and so it's kind of moving around, you know, and just wasn't real nice. But I have put it all back just like it was when I found it. So I've already got it out of the stock. There's plenty of videos showing how to get the stock off of these guys, so we don't have to worry about that. I do have mine in a buck rail tactical kit, so that's a good bit different, but the gun is empty as far as pellets go. But so right now it's back to stock configuration, and let's just go ahead and, all right, so, well, that's 2 pounds, 7.7 ounces, so I couldn't unbreak it enough, I guess. But let's go ahead and do one more. Okay, that one was 3 pounds, 1.6 ounces. So before we get started to doing this, I really want to say that this is a very easy upgrade, and it only really requires 2 parts. I did try swapping a spring out, and that is really not necessary. But what I have done for this was I went, actually got this grub screw assortment from Amazon, and but you can go to your local hardware store. But what you're going to need is a M5 by 12 grub screw, 2 of them, and we're going to be replacing the trigger adjustment screws on the gun with those 2 grub screws. The way that the grub screws are, or these screws are in here, there's not enough adjustment range before it bottoms out, and you can't adjust it any further for to lighten the sear engagement and lessen the over travel. So so all you need is, there's a pin just in front of the safety here, that bottom of the safety lever, that you can just push out with a punch. It can go out in either direction, and set that down, don't lose it. And we do have a, so there is one adjustment for the spring, and we'll be looking at that in a couple of minutes. But here is the trigger mechanism, and we've got a screw back here. See, the head is always all the way flat on the bottom of the unit. You can't adjust it anymore, and same way in the front. But it has these 2 E-clips on here. So the first thing I'm going to do is pop off those 2 E-clips, and we're not going to be reusing those. But I take everything and I put it in a bag, because I have all of the parts set aside that I took off from this gun and replaced with buck rail parts. So we're going to need a 2.5 inch or 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench, and so take out both of those screws, set them with the E-clips. Now you take your grub screws, the 5 millimeter by 12 grub screws, and you can run them in just about as far as the other ones were. We'll be adjusting it in a minute here, but just kind of run them in about equal to what the other screws were sticking out for now. And so this is actually the adjuster for the trigger tension spring, and that was run all the way in and out of its Alright, so that is really, so I've got the 2 grub screws in the trigger mechanism. Now I am going to drop it all back into place and get this pin back in there. Just gotta wiggle it around until you find the, there it goes. Okay. So now let's make sure, let's see, our sear will still engage. See all that over travel? So first thing we're going to do is adjust this over travel screw quite a bit, and we'll take a lot of that over travel out. And we're already getting better. So now we're going to start turning this sear engagement in a little bit at a time. And actually I want to, so this right here just in front of the trigger blade is the spring adjustment screw, and that is just set way too heavy. So I turn that out to where it's just about flush with the top of that. And so now we're just about there already. I could probably do, now I could start doing this sear engagement just a little bit at a time. That feels really nice. There's no movement at all, and it just breaks. Let me try. So you can go too far with the sear engagement, and then when you cock it, it won't cock anymore. But all right, let's see what we got there. So that feels really nice, and those are snug enough in there. I really don't think you need to put any kind of Loctite on them, but if you wanted to put a little dab of just low strength Loctite on there, it would probably be okay. So let's go ahead. I cocked it already? Yep, I cocked it already. All right, so we were at like 3 pounds before. So let's go ahead and see. All right, so I'm already at, so I did this already before, and I was averaging around 12 ounces, but yeah, 14 ounces is a fantastic trigger in these. So let's go ahead and try another one. All right, that one was 1 pound, 3.4 ounces. So we can play around with these adjustments just a little bit here. See, now it's not cocking anymore, so I need to back those back off again a little bit. There we go. So now I'm at 12 ounces. So, wow, that is going to be a nice trigger for the range. Now, just a caveat here, a little bit of, legal mumbo jumbo. This gun will only ever see range time. It's never going to be hunted in the woods and beat around or anything like that. So I would never set my trigger that light if I was going to use this as a walking in the woods gun. I would keep it probably up around 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds at least. But that really helps out. Even if you left that screw turned down in and kept the spring tension a little bit heavier, that really helps with the feel of the trigger. There's absolutely no movement at all now until it breaks. It's just a really super crisp single stage trigger. Just fantastic. So, and And that one was 9 ounces. That's pretty phenomenal. But the more so just the feel of it is. So if you're really trying to shoot some precision groups or do any kind of precision target work, 3 pounds will throw you around pretty good if you don't manage your squeeze really well. But 9-12 ounces on a bench rest is really gonna help tighten those groups up. So anyway, there you go. Actually, this is probably one of the shortest how-tos I've ever done, but it really is a big help. Like I said, I bought this assortment of grub screws on Amazon. Rustark 450 piece metric grub screw set, or set screw set. Allen head socket head grub screw set. And I don't think it was $10 or $15 at the most for that whole set. And I've used that for several. I've changed both to the Snow Peak, or added the grub screws to the Snow Peaks. I know I've done 2 or 3 others. Definitely paid for itself already. So if you plan to get into any kind of work like this, it really kind of pays. I bought all these assortments of screws and springs and O-rings and all sorts of stuff, and it really helps out. That Benjamin 352 that I just showed you guys the other night, all it needed was 1 O-ring. On the video I showed you guys, I had 1 O-ring. It was just a little too small in diameter, but I found another metric, or no, it was a standard one too, but it was just the tiniest bit bigger in diameter. And actually this has had the same CO2 in it for over 24 hours, and it's holding air great. So I think we've got a win there. So anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. Till next time, have a great day.